Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today in yet another of our weekly Wednesday webinars. Today we have a Poland showcase, but before we begin, allow me to do a quick housekeeping announcement. Our speakers will be taking questions, so if you do have any questions for them, please submit it via the Q&A button, which you can find at the bottom of your screen. With that, I shall hand over to our first speaker for today. Norbert, over to you.
Good afternoon, Sadika. Let me share my presentation. 1 second. Okay, Daphne, can you confirm we can see everything?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. Okay, so I would like to welcome everyone on behalf of Polish Investment and Trade Agency. Today, the topic of our meeting is medical technology expertise from Poland. My name is Norbert and I'm the head of Bangkok office for Polish Investment and Trade Agency. And today the focus will be on the medical technology expertise from Poland. But before we start, I'll tell you a little bit about Poland itself, why it is such an innovative country, especially within medtech solutions. Okay, a few words about our organization first. The Polish Investment and Trade Agency is a government agency from Poland. Our mission is to promote Polish business abroad, as well as bringing in foreign investors. So there are three main pillars of what we do. First of all, we facilitate export. So we help to grow the Polish companies and expand overseas. In my case, it's Thailand. Second of all, we facilitate foreign investments coming into Poland. If there's a big company wanting to put their production facility or anything else in Poland, we will support. And then, of course, long-term partnerships. We know that this is a long game, and we want to build long-term partnerships where there's a win-win for both parties. This is the best way for us to grow in every country. As for the moment, we have around 60 foreign trade offices all over the world. As you can see on the map, in ASEAN region, there's an office in pretty much every single country. And why they are so important nowadays? Of course, most of our trade is with Europe, with the European Union. Just with Germany, our biggest trade partner, we have 60% of total trade. But we want to be more active in Asia, in the ASEAN region, and of course we do need to we need to be more visible, more active. This is why in recent years our Asian office, our ASEAN offices are very much important for Polish economy. Okay, let's jump to Poland. A few words about Poland. If you do look at the map, Poland is exactly in the middle, which gives us a very good location. Just like Thailand is a good location within the region, Poland is often considered as a gateway to the region. We're between the north and south, between east and west. We have very good logistics, whether it's highways, railways, access to sea. Many companies that want to expand to Poland, they choose to Europe. They choose Poland as the gateway to Europe. So that the location and many other factors, they allowed Poland to have the biggest GDP per capita growth in the last 30 years, all over Europe. So that's quite a big that has a very big importance for us. We grew from 6,500 to 35, almost 36,000 per person. So that's a major change. And along those 30 years, if you look in the bottom, we managed to be part of OECD, then NATO, quite important nowadays, then 2004 European Union, and that was a huge change for Poland being part of the EU. Then 2009 we were officially classified as a high income economy, and then 2017 we are being qualified as a developed market. So you can see a long journey. The journey is not over yet, of course, but many good things happened in Poland in the last 30 years. And again, why do I bring this 1990? Because before that year, we were a communism country, and you can see the picture on the left. Nothing on the shelves, black market, and so on. Then after 1990, we become a free trade economy. First McDonald's opened in 1992, quite an important event for Poland, more of a symbolic event, nevertheless quite important. Huge queue in this McDonald's store in the center of Warsaw. Now, fast forward to 2023, we have autonomous stores, Żabka, which are powered by AI. And actually, I went to Poland a few weeks ago, and there was one next to where I lived. You go in, there is no staff inside. Everything is done by electronic wallet, everything automized. So very impressive, and yeah, quite interesting to watch how things change. This graph on the right, this is a very important slide. It shows the lived change index for the last 30 years. So how people's lives changed, how they feel like it changed. And of course, China is number one with all that with all that has been happening in China in the last 30 years. But then Poland is number two. So as you can see, the Polish people, we feel the change a lot. Okay, now what's happening between Poland and Thailand? You might think these are such distant countries. There is not much happening, and quite the opposite. Nowadays, we are at the historical levels, not only for the total trade, but the trade both ways. So export from Poland to Thailand, and from Thailand to Poland every year. It's growing. What is interesting, in 2021, which was the COVID-19 year, so everyone assumed that the trade would drop and so on. Polish exports to Thailand, they grew by 42%. Last year they grew by 12%. So this only shows how important it is. And now that we have supply chains broken all over the world, there are some new trends that come up. And also, please keep in mind that there is no yet FTA between Europe and Poland. Nevertheless, we see such important growth, so such significant growth. So if there's an FTA, and as we know, this is the free trade agreement between European Union and Thailand is now being negotiated, this might be a big game changer for both countries. Okay, let's move on to the innovative ideas, and Poland has one of the highest research and development employment, especially among the new EU members. If you look at the graph, you can see that now we have around 266,000 employees that are working within the research and development industry. That gives quite a competitive edge. Whether it's IT, whether it's medical sector, FMCG, you name it, there are a lot of well-educated, smart people that are working in Poland nowadays. Again, this map will show you how things have changed over the last 10 years. On the left, you see 2010 and the amount of R&D, the research and development centers in Poland. 10 years later, we have more than 420 at the moment, and again, it's IT, it's medical, it's FMCG, many different sectors that decided to come in and build these centers. What does it mean for Poland? We become more and more competitive towards other countries. We come up with many new innovations. Some we do it for other foreign companies, some we do it for our Polish companies. But again, it's an interesting country to look at. And what is interesting is that in Poland, there's no one center. These research and development centers, they are scattered all over the country. They work closely with the universities, whether these are technical, medical, scientific, agriculture, economic, or so on. It doesn't matter. The academic community is very strong, and many different programs come up, such as the one that for example, Pfizer created. So together with Pfizer, there was an academy organized to support the development of innovation for the Polish science. And this is only one of the many examples. Okay, let's jump to the core of our meeting today: medical device and equipment from Poland. So where we are particularly strong, I think what is interesting for you to follow, which offer you can research: rehabilitation and orthopedic equipment, including prostheses, medical and veterinary instruments, hospital furniture, equipment for operating theaters and extensive care units, diagnostic devices, ultrasound scanner, X-ray equipment, disposable equipment, and many telemedicine devices and services. Of course, this is not everything, but these are some of the things we are quite strong at. And now, for some of you that when you hear Poland, you might not be familiar with any Polish products, and especially any Polish medical products. But just to give you an idea of where Polish products are being exported. So last year, number one was Germany, number two, United States, then France, Denmark, United Kingdom. So what do these countries have in common? They're all developed countries that require the highest possible quality. So if Polish products, medical products, they go mostly to these countries, I think that there is no doubt about the quality of the products we export overseas. This is a slide showing that the export of Polish medical devices in the last years, since 2016. And I remember last year we were hosting also a similar medical event, and my presentation on my presentation there was a similar graph, but it said that the exports doubled. Now it's almost tripled. So I'm just quite happy to see that that the exports of medical devices are growing in a very significant way. Okay, to sum up a bit from my side. So why is it a good idea to follow the offer for Polish medical equipment? First of all, you do have the high quality. As I said before, we export to some of the major countries. Then we do have a long scientific tradition. So what does it mean? Polish people were always good at physics, medicine, chemistry, mathematics, of course, IT sector, but that's a whole different story. So this is a very good foundation of the development of technologies within the medical sector as well. There's a strong funding for new ideas, and there was research done, and 25% of all the venture capital in Poland went to medical ideas, medical startups. The dynamic startup ecosystem. Right now, looking at all the startups, 13% of them, these are medtech startups. So there's a whole new flow of medical innovations. The talent pool is always an important one. There are skilled and well-educated people that open their new businesses and create new solutions. And strong cooperation. So we do want to be active overseas. We do want to promote ourselves in countries that yet we don't have as much recognition as Thailand. There is, when I look at the export of medical devices to Thailand, it's growing very significantly. However, it's not yet where we would like to be. So yes, that's what it looks like. And this year, we invited some of the most exciting companies to participate in our pavilion, and some of them will present in a second. The other ones, I'll just quickly mention them. FAMED, manufacturer of operating tables, including basic hospital beds as the ones more advanced. Technomex, we have them with us today, so I'll not say anymore. Medical, Inventi, and M2M, same. Then we have Mercator Medical, which is the biggest Polish producer of medical rubber gloves, located in Thailand and in Songkhla region. Corme Diagnostics, producer of equipment for clinical labs. We have one medical school coming to promote their programs for foreign students. There are quite a few Thai students nowadays choosing Poland as a destination for medical studies. And we have Comarch, which is more of an IT company with a lot of solutions for the medical sector. For example, they help to share information and medical data in a secure way. These are offered for clinics, for hospitals, and so on. So that's pretty much everything from my side. We do have an office here in Bangkok. If you have any ideas about sourcing any Polish product and any Polish medical equipment, please reach out to us. We will be at the Poland Pavilion during Medical Fair Thailand, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Norbert. So yes, if you have any questions for him, you can also submit it via the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen. And while you're doing that, let us move to our second speaker for today, Aleksander. Over to you, please.
Hello, good afternoon to every one of you. Let me introduce myself and then my company. I'm working for Technomex as an export specialist, and I'm responsible for a relation with distributor and with clients abroad. There is my slideshow. I hope that you see them. We are a Polish company specialized in medtech solution with more than 35 years history. We are mid-scale company with more than 100 employees. In Poland, we are a reseller of foreign brands, but also we are manufacturer of rehabilitation devices. Our goal is to deliver complete and comprehensive solution for rehabilitation to all users. As I said to you before, we are representing foreign brands in Poland just to provide full portfolio of our customer. 35 years ago, we started with production of hydrotherapy devices, different tubs for underwater massage, whirlpools, and also butterfly tub. We've got more than 10 devices, 10 different bath tubes with different sizes, with different functions. What is the best benefits of our solution in hydrotherapy? All our products are made from GFK material. It's a glass fiber coated material, which means that this material is very, very stable, very, very good, very resistant. It's the same material from which yachts are produced. Our another line is kinesiotherapy devices. In this line, we've got also plenty solution, plenty products. For example, device levitas for therapy in suspension, like here. There is also main table, rehabilitation tables, traction table, device for therapy of scoliosis, and verticalization table, and so on. These solutions are also on the market for many, many years. Some of them are very simple, but some of them are more complicated just to provide a modern way of rehabilitation. There is also another simple product device for hand therapy. Also another product device for cryotherapy called Frozer. It were devices very basic for ordinary use, but a few years ago we decided to develop technology which use virtual reality just to provide more effective way of rehabilitation. And this solution offers training for many patients at one time. It makes the training more fun and motivating. It allows to monitor progress of the therapy, and it gives objective evaluation of training and also offers individualization of the training. This solution, which is called ACX Rehab, is basing on evidence-based medicine, which is an objective rehabilitation process, automatic tracking of the patient progress. It is very reliable and objective indicators from many categories. It allows to generate reports based on measurements, and offers possibility to evaluate and research. How it works? Which main feature of virtual reality we used in our ACX Rehab system? As you know, virtual reality works on visual experiences. It works on a computer screen or through binoculars. It is handled by a keyboard, mouse, or another device. And it simulates an environment which is very similar to typical real world. In this line, we've got 10 devices. They are divided to a few groups. The first group is our platforms. We've got 3 platforms: Stabilometric Platform Alpha, which is dedicated to neurological patient. We've got Sigma Balance Platform and Gamma Dynamometric Platform for orthopedical patient. Using all of them, improve posture of the patient, provide sense of balance. It is very useful for muscle coordination, for proprioceptive reeducation, and for different tests of training of our body. Another group of devices are devices which use elastic resistance. There are devices, Vectis for shoulder, Jupiter for knee and lower extremities therapy. Telco is devices for therapy of legs, Vectis Mini for shoulder, and Kubito for forearm and wrist therapy. All of these devices offer different range of motion to provide strength and endurance. It used very high precision and individually planned training, and offer highest result of rehabilitation. In last year, we put to the market 2 more devices from this line. The first devices is Capri device, is the smallest product for therapy of wrist. And the second product is multisensory table Xcogni. It allows to be trained by the patient with cognitive function, and the patient operates by finger, hand, or wrist on these devices. This is the most developed product in this line at this moment. What is important here? As I said you before, these products use virtual reality to increase the motivation of patients to participate in rehabilitation process. It means that we change typical boring treatment to something fun, to something interesting. This device offers biofeedback, so the patient could be controlled and receive information in real time. There is also integration of all patient records, so it is automatically collected results and tests and rehabilitation exercises. This line is also support the daily work of therapists, because they don't need to spend a lot of time in refilling a lot of documents, and can focus more on the patient. All these devices are very easy to use, intuitive, and fully configurable. What is important here, the software from the device works on Microsoft Windows platform and works in different language. For example, a therapist can use the English language, and a patient can use Thai language, French, German, Polish, and any other possible language. What's more about these devices? Therapy which is provided by these devices is targeted at speed, strength, coordination of movement, functional movement, to divide attention, to memorize some movement, and to cognitive functions. All these ACX Rehab devices used some software which was prepared by our software house. This software is called Vast Rehab, and this software makes the patient more motivated to participate in the treatment. And people who are training on these devices are not thinking about this training like on something boring, but it is more motivating, more fun for them. How we use these devices? We are using a separate computer for the patient, separate computer for the therapist. It allows therapists to work with different and with many patients at the same time by the therapist. Each patient works on different patient accounts, so all records of him are stored in the central database. And also we can plan the workout for any patient in advance. There are some screens from this software. As you see here, there is some calendar and workout templates for the patient. And also another screen which show different devices. Here, it is a screen show from the therapist panel, and therapist can offer the training, can provide the training of many patients at the same time. What's important here? Thanks to this Vast Rehab, therapists can always analyze the reports of the each training to verify if the patient were trained correctly, adjust the difficulty of the training. It's difficulty both physical and cognitive. This adjustment may be done during the training or after or for next session. Also, it allows us to identify the patients who need more attention from the therapist. There is also some another reports which shows how the patient trained, what should be changed, how the patient should correct the position or some movement. So it's all about our devices. Thank you very much for your attention. If you've got any more question about our offer, I can answer your question now, or I can answer your question during exhibition in Bangkok in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you, Aleksander. So yes, his team will be there at the show, so you're welcome to visit them at their booth and to take the discussions further. Of course, if you do have questions, feel free to also submit it via the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. So thank you, Aleksander. Let us now hand over to our third speaker for today, Adrian. Adrian, over to you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen. Alexander, can you remove your presentation before I start because I can't share while you're sharing? Thank you. So I'm the advisor here for Medical Inventi, who has coined Flexios, which is a bone regenerative filler. Basically, we are the world's first flexible hydroxyapatite-based bone void filler in a solid form, and we're designed for regenerative medicine. Medical Inventi aims to improve patients' lives and save them from amputations and unnecessary pain, while the mission is for research and commercialization of innovative solutions in the healthcare industry. So the material is basically an implant that can be used in various fields, but in this image that you see, it is in the orthopedic space. So when there's a fracture and there's a non-union, a material can be packed into the bone void and left inside for regeneration processes. On a regulatory landscape, the product has regulatory CE mark, and we are bound by the ISO 13485 certificate, so we have full QMS compliance. The product is a Class 2B, and it is a modern implantable biomaterial, which is hydroxyapatite and curdlan based. The core properties of the material are that it is flexible only after soaking. So once it is soaked either using blood or biological saline, it offers the plasticity and bendable properties. We are fully biocompatible. The mechanical properties are similar to that of physiological bone, and we actively support the bone reconstruction process. Additionally, the bone void positively influences the bone tissue regeneration process due to the pores that are found inside Flexios. And in contrast to other materials, there's no animal byproducts, and that it is 7 centimeters of implant. Application-wise, we have a core focus on orthopedics, but we also tend to look at other markets, and this is something that we would be willing to further explore. But we have orthopedic in Flexios as our core product. We also have a dental, and a vet product. As far as our IP protection, we have a 3-staged approach, 1 for the raw material and 2 for the production and manufacturing methods. As far as our current market, the market size for global bone graft and substitutes is huge. It is roughly estimated to reach 7.3 billion in 2031 at a CAGR of 8.5%. And we are focused mainly actually now in Asia due to the no animal byproducts, especially in some of the Middle East and Asian markets that require it from a religious standpoint. On a competitive landscape, Flexios has increased surgical convenience, diverse porosity over all other materials, elasticity and plasticity over some. Some are in a syringe form where basically you can implant it, get the material out of a syringe, versus ours is in a Pumex type of form. And we are one of the first to implant in large bone defects. So as I mentioned, we have a case with 7 centimeters in length. We do sell the product in 1 centimeter, 3 centimeter, and 5 centimeters. And so for that case, 2 products were used together. There's no risk of transmitting zoonosis, lack of allergenicity and immunogenicity, and we do offer this at a very competitive price over other biomaterials. The project started off in 2010 with successful patents and animal studies. And in 2011, it was actually a spin-off from the local university in Lublin. In 2015, we ended with successful trials. We had 5 dental and 5 human orthopedic cases. And ever since 2016, the company has been funded from either EU grants or private money. Up until now, we have completed over 70 cases already using the material. And as of this year, we have our first commercialization activities happening locally and internationally with some distribution contracts already signed in Asia, in Philippines, in Vietnam, and in Singapore. This is the team responsible for the product. And if there's any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. So yes, if you do have any questions, you can submit it via the Q&A button. And then meanwhile, let us move to our last but not least, last speaker for today, Filip. Filip, over to you.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about the plasma, the ways of plasma storage, and many other things. So to begin with, right now we are in a situation where the global need of plasma is rising. Here is the data from 2018 with how they foresee it will look like in 2026. And for our current data, it is going into this direction. So in each continent, the need of plasma is rising almost. It is almost 2 times more need of plasma in the last 8 years. So also, it is the distribution of, you can see the distribution of the fractionation plants. So what is this fractionation plants and plasma really for? Those fractionation plants are turning the plasma into life-saving medicines that are helping with treating autoimmune diseases, the medicine for the burn victims, for hemophilia, and many more. And also it is used for the R&D to work on the new medicine. So there is a global, the need of plasma is rising globally in a very fast pace. So how does it look like in Poland? In Poland, we don't have any fractionation plants, so we are not manufacturing any medicine, but all of the Polish plasma is sold in the tender. So any company outside of Poland or even from Poland can purchase Polish plasma. And as you can see, the price of 1 liter of plasma corresponds to the data that I showed you in the previous slide. So from 111 euros per liter in 2020. In 2023, the price of 1 liter of plasma is 166 euros. So it is the price is rising very fast. And why Poland is selling plasma? Poland doesn't have any fractionation plant. However, the plasma in this tender is sold under one very important condition, that 50% of the medicine manufactured from Polish plasma, Poland has priority to buy it back. So as WHO recognizes those medicine and the plasma as a strategic resource on a national level, it is very important to ensure that Poland has access to this plasma. So how do M2M team position in this environment? In Poland, as you could have seen in the previous slide, we had more than 1 million of recovered fresh frozen plasma that is collected annually. And in our devices, we are storing more than 1 million plasma units, maybe not storing, but we have capacity to store. And it is the data from the end of the last year. So based on our knowledge, we are storing more than half of the Polish plasma. And the expectation is that until the end of 2025, we'll be storing additional 2 million plasma units. And currently, we are on a very good track to reach this capacity. So what's the whole deal? What's the problem regarding the plasma storage? So plasma is recovered, mostly plasma is recovered from the whole blood. And it needs to be checked across a few months of the storage and various parameters. So some of them are the most important one, according to International Plasma Fractionation Association. So to begin with, the donor selection. When they check the donor upon the registration, it differs from country to country. Then the collection and processing procedures. It also differs. It can differ from blood bank to blood bank. And also testing of the donors. So testing for the diseases, testing of the blood, if the quality of the blood is proper, the quality of the plasma is proper. And then the three qualities that we as M2M we focus on. So traceability, to be sure that one specific unit of plasma or blood is the one that the user thinks it is. So it is the labels, the barcodes, the location of the unit. Also the storage and the transport. It is very important because the plasma usually is stored for a few months or even longer. And there also regulatory compliance, because each region, each country has different regulatory compliance, and it is essential to follow those compliances. So how plasma is stored for the bigger scale for the fractionation in different countries? Usually, as I compare it to a library. In the library, you have 25,000 books. I need to find, for example, 5 specific ones. But our library is a bit more difficult one to handle because plasma needs to be stored. It varies, but usually it is less than minus 30 Celsius degrees. So if library which inside there is minus 30 Celsius degrees, I need to find 5 specific units. And the conditions inside are terrible. Usually it consists of a lot of manual labor, browsing through those cardboards or some baskets. Each facility, each country has different ways of storage. So how did we solve this problem? We solved this problem by creating the device that enters into the room and the human don't need to do it. And it is the example from one of the Polish blood banks in Katowice, where we store 120,000 plasma units. So it is a very comprehensive project. And as you can see in the beginning, the full traceability. All of the operations are done using the barcode scanner. Here is our IT system, and the user has just a touch screen where he has information about all of the plasma that is stored inside. Here, similar cold room, but inside you can see the frames and the robotic arm that moves the boxes. Each box consists of around 50 plasma units. So the arm moves the box to the opening window, and it comes automatically to the user outside. So the personnel can operate this device just wearing t-shirt without the necessity to go inside and browse through all of the plasma. So here you can see the operation of removal of one plasma units. Usually during the look-back procedure, such operation is done. And inside, as you can see, it is almost like a regular cold room, but because the human don't need to access it, we can make it even higher. And here we also have our own software that we developed that the personnel has access from all different rooms. So all of the operations are smoother and also more traceable, which is one of the biggest pros. Also, we are engineering company, so as for request of the clients, we also implemented in this case the robots that are moving the plasma from storage to storage, from storage to the operating tables that you've seen on the like 15 seconds ago. So we do very, very comprehensive solution which focus on the proper storage of plasma and especially the storage of the plasma for the bigger scale. However, we have solutions that are ranging from 1,000 plasma units up to even 40,000 units, or in this case, 120,000 plasma units. So, I'm sorry, wrong. So how we are usually approaching the projects? We are doing an audit to check how the blood bank, the facility is operating. Then we are preparing the 3D concept, usually a few variations. Then we do the visualization, and then the development phase of like architectural construction, architecture projects. Engineering starts to work because we do everything is done in-house. We are a manufacturer not only of the software but also of the hardware. So we prepare everything in advance, then we construct. So everything that you've seen in the video was done by our company, and then we implement with all of the necessary operational qualification, installation qualification, with the certificates, with the training, and many others. So to give you an example of this, the Katowice that you've seen on the previous video, it is one of the early concepts showing you those here on the right side. Those are the storages. This is the corridor that you've seen. And here another screenshot of the concept. Then how we did the renovation, because it used to be unused basement. So from the unused basement to the very modern plasma warehouse that serves the whole whole Polish region. And here's some more photos from it after finishing. And also to give you like small reference, we are also active in the other countries. Here, for example, we implemented a little bit smaller device for 7,000 plasma units in Vietnam, in BTH Hospital in Ho Chi Minh City. This one. Here is the other. Those are the images from the training. So we have plenty of solutions. We are able to deliver the solutions that can store plasma in less than minus 30 Celsius degrees in a challenging climate for it, such as Vietnam. So doing any projects in this region is possible. And as you can see, it's like proof of concept that it is doable. So I would welcome you to the stand where I can show you much more in details of the projects, the solutions regarding the blood, the plasma, and many others that we implemented. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Filip. So while we leave some time for the audience to leave their questions, let me share some information about the upcoming Medical Fair Thailand. So this year, Medical Fair Thailand will return once again after 4 years hiatus, no thanks to the pandemic. So we're excited and we're a fully sold out show. We look forward to seeing all of you. So if you have not registered your visit, you can do so now by scanning this QR code, which will bring you directly to our visitor registration page. We also have one last webinar coming up next Wednesday. The topics and speaker lineup is already available on our website. So do check it out and let us know. I mean, you can register directly through the form if you'd like to join us next week. So let me see if there are questions. Okay, looks like we don't have any questions. I think our speakers did a great job with their very detailed presentations. In any case, if you do have a question that pops up only later, feel free to email us and we'll be happy to connect you to the speakers. With that, we have come to the end of our presentation today. Thank you once again to all of you for joining us and our speakers for taking time to be here and sharing about your products. The speakers you've heard from today, along with a few others that Norbert has mentioned at the start of his presentation, will be at the show from the 13th to 15th of September at Biotech Bangkok under the Poland Pavilion. And alongside them, we have 800 exhibitors that will be there as well. So with that, thank you very much once again, and I hope to see you live in person at Biotech Bangkok in September. Thank you and goodbye.